Life Princess Size with me, Pallavi. So we were talking about your wedding checklists and a whole lot of things need to be done well in time for your weddings. And today we're going to talk about probably one of the biggest things that you need to do to get the perfect wedding, and that is deciding your wedding photographer and videographer. Now trust me, I can tell you this from personal experience that this was one of the most taxing decisions that I had to take. Right from my engagement to my wedding, I did so much research and spent so much time looking for the best and ideal photographer and videographer. In fact, let me tell you a very embarrassing secret. My wedding function started from 19th of January and I was just checking, according to my emails, I finalized my videographer on 2nd January. And I was like, I saw that mail and I was speaking, I was like, really, was that me? Was I that disorganized? So, okay, this is what you guys need to do. Like we talked about, you getting married October onwards. You need to find your wedding photographer and videographer today, and I'm here to help you decide how. So with me is one of India's coolest, funnest and youngest photographers and videographers, Tarun Chawla. Tarun, say hi to all these guys.
Hi guys, Tarun this side. I've been doing this for the last 9 years now.
Yeah.
And it's been a pretty long journey because when I started off, it was a totally new profession in the market.
Correct.
No one gave respect to your photographer, your photographer, photo wale bhaiya, whatever you used to call them back then.
Yeah, true. So the candid thing has kind of taken the industry by storm, and you were one of the initial players who came. In fact, let me tell you something very cool about Tarun. He is a very big philanthropist also. So he shot my engagement, and his condition was that for that month, all projects that he was shooting, the amount had to go as a donation, right? So tell us about that. What was your thought behind that?
So whatever we make as money or whatever we're earning for the photography, it's purely profit.
Yeah.
Because it's mainly our skill and artistic values which we're putting into the product.
Okay.
So from that, we always give something to charity.
So Tarun, all these brides out there have, let's say, one big thing, because Indian weddings just end up costing so much money. And today, as we all know, wedding photographers and videographers charge a bomb as compared to, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago. So why don't you help them out by telling them what are the criteria that they should keep in mind when they're choosing their wedding photographer?
See, first of all, we talk about budget. That's the main deciding factor for a photographer. So I feel let's keep a 10% budget for total wedding for photography.
Wow.
So different like 2 crores, you can go for 20 lakh photographer. They're spending like 50,000. Go for a smaller photographer, which are like 2 lakh something, right? And although photography is expensive, but you always make space. Instead of buying a light, you can rent it out from like Fly or some other company.
Yeah.
Because you're not hiring me for my entire lifetime, you're only hiring me for a couple of days.
Correct.
So do the same with the lehenga and your makeup artist and everyone else.
That's actually a very good thumb rule and a very good tip. If you're not buying other services, in fact, if you're hiring other services, why not hire your outfit also and save some money there and make sure that the photos that you have for a lifetime are fabulous, right? So 10% of your wedding budget should be allocated for the photographer, right? Is that right?
Right, minimum 10%.
Minimum 10%, ouch. Okay, so that sounds like a lot, but in the end, of course, do your research, and Tarun is there to help us out with how to plan things out. Tarun, what are some of the things that they should look out for when they're, let's say, interviewing a photographer or checking out their work? Because I also had this experience personally that I saw somebody's work on Facebook or when we go to one of these sites and it looked fabulous, but the end result when it came to a personal project was very, very different from that and not as good. So how can our viewers be safe from that, and how can they be sure what they're going in for?
Whenever you're seeing someone's portfolio, someone's work, make sure you're seeing the same kind of wedding which you're going to have. If you're having a nighttime wedding in outdoor situation, it's more tricky to photograph. So if someone's showing like a destination wedding shot in daytime, don't go for that. Don't go for couple shoots more, because wedding is not a couple shoot.
Yeah.
Couple is like a small half an hour part of the wedding.
Correct.
When you're being a photographer, make sure you see the entire collection, how he takes the group pictures, the family pictures, how he's lighting outdoor. Talk about him about a team, how he likes to shoot the wedding, whether he does the group pictures himself, whether he does traditional photography, whether he loves other photographers or not. Like we don't allow other photographers at all at any other venues. Because the stage becomes a mess and no one's able to see the ceremonies happening. Talk to your makeup artist, talk to your decorators, put them all in touch.
Okay, with the photographer?
With the photographer.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting tip. Why do you think that will be helpful?
Because certain kind of makeup might look good in person.
Okay.
Like a lot of people do contouring for the makeup. So it looks perfect from the front angle or for the fashion shoots. But when shooting from the side, it's not blended properly, it looks really bad.
So that's also another great tip from this super experienced photographer, that you should always have a meeting beforehand with your photographer and your makeup artist and your decorator, So I know this for a fact because Tarun came into my engagement and told me, okay, your backdrop is too small, it needs to be at least 18 feet long because in the group shots and it doesn't work, and that was something I didn't know of. So you can pick from my experience and my mistakes and Tarun's tips and make sure that you have a flawless setting with for you, right? Okay, so what is your take on pre-wedding couple shoots? Yay or nay? Yay or nay, Tarun?
Nay.
Nay, yay, okay.
I hate the couple shoot.
Same here.
I started like 10 years back, so we didn't get time before during the wedding for taking couple pictures.
Yeah.
That's why we said, okay, let's do a couple shoot before the wedding.
Correct.
And it's actually got an engagement shoot. It's not a pre-wedding shoot.
Yeah.
But people picked up the term pre-wedding shoot, and now it's become a trend and it's even more popular than the wedding itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But personally, I suggest spend more money on the wedding instead of couple shoot.
Okay.
If you have to have a couple shoot, go for a post-wedding shoot during honeymoon. If you're going to Bali, going to Cozumel, US, hire a local photographer over there and get a couple shoot from him.
It's more fun.
It's more fun. You have free location over there when you're traveling.
Yes. Correct. Now, for our brides to be, in terms of video, what are the things that they should keep in mind? Because there's again this whole debate about traditional and candid, and people don't really have enough clarity on the difference between the two. And the costing for the two is dramatically different. So, if you could just educate our viewers on what exactly do people mean by traditional video and candid video, and why is there such a stark difference in the costing?
For traditional video, it's a documentary style video,
Yeah.
which is pretty long in duration. So let's say your wedding lasts for 7 or 8 hours. So traditional video will be at least 2 hours long.
Okay.
It will show all the 7 fairs, it will show every single relative coming to the stage for the group pictures. It will show the entire entry of the bride, entry of the groom, all the sagan, all the jaymalas, all the milni which happens. So right now what we are doing is we are doing a mix of both the things.
Okay.
So we do a small 5-minute teaser, a 20-minute creative film,
Okay.
and a 1 hour long full traditional cum cinematic video.
Ah, okay, interesting.
So cinematic videos are basically short films, 20 minutes long maximum, half an hour long, and they are finely edited. So it briefly covers all the ceremonies, but it won't detail everything.
Correct.
So if you have like 7 fairs happening, it will show your face in one of the fairs, face in the second one, and briefly cover everything which is happening over there.
Right.
So for like a theatre wedding, a traditional video costs like 80,000.
Okay.
Cinematic only costs 3 lakhs. So in the traditional video we shoot first,
Yeah.
then whatever we have shot we'll bring it to a storyboard and edit it later on.
Okay.
And each of the shots which you are taking is like a minute long.
Okay.
So it doesn't take much effort to edit. It's almost like 1:1. You're shooting for 3 days, it takes 3 days for editing the video.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, for a cinematic one, it means at least a month for editing. If you have to go for 1 or 2 videos, go for traditional one.
Okay.
Because having 2 videographers is better than having one thing better. So go for like really good photography, have proper traditional photographers and candid ones,
Okay.
and video go for only traditional.
Okay.
Other way around, you can have like a single photographer doing only traditional pictures and go for a cinematic wedding film.
Right. Either way,
Yeah.
just kind of balance it out.
I think I have a big fat wedding. I have fat wedding.
If you can, then nothing like it.
Yeah.
And in terms of the ratio, how should people decide? So a lot of times the photographers pose these questions that, okay, how many people do you have? And do you want 2 photographers or 4 photographers? And most of us aren't equipped to take that decision. So in terms of the ratio, how many photographers to how many guests? Does it work like that?
So we work on fixed numbers.
Okay.
So let's say 250 guests, means 3 photographers.
Okay.
500 means 4 photographers.
Okay.
4 photographers, 1 for the stage for the group pictures, 1 at the entrance with your bride's father,
Okay.
1 with the bride and 1 with the groom.
Ah, okay.
Simple as that.
Simple.
Yeah. Everyone who comes to the venue will greet your father.
Yeah.
He's the host for the event at a gate. They'll come to the stage for group picture.
Correct.
And then one person has to take video for the candid. Like when you're getting ready, when you're coming, when you're with your friends. And the fourth one has to be with the groom.
Correct.
But the barat comes from a separate venue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you travel abroad, we do international wedding. Only 2 of us will shoot the weddings.
Okay.
So we both of us can do traditional photography, both of us can do candid.
Right.
So let's say smaller getting like 150, 200 guests, 2 photographers are sufficient. So you can follow Pallavi on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook on Live Princess Size, and you can check me on Tarun Chawla Photography.